The idea that the Federal Trade Commission has the power to make unfair methods of competition rules would have been a great surprise to the Congress of 1914. They clearly did not intend for the agency to make those rules. The history of the FTC up until the 1960s doesn't suggest any reason to think that the agency would do that. The Supreme Court looked at the FTC's authority in the 1930s. They talked about it being quasi-legislative, but they described the agency as making reports to Congress. They never mentioned the agency making substantive rules. So it's pretty clear that if that's what Congress had intended, the Supreme Court would have noticed. And that can't be what Congress intended, because the Congress at the time had a very clear understanding that lawmakers couldn't delegate their core legislative powers to administrative agencies. That would have been truly a constitutional revolution. So we know that Congress didn't create a second national legislature, but that's of course exactly what a lot of people today want. They see Congress today not being able to solve problems, and they want the Federal Trade Commission to do that for them, but that's not something that our Constitution will allow. It's really up to our lawmakers themselves to make laws, and we have to find ways to get them to do that, and the FTC can help them do that. That was the agency's original mission. That was the vision that President Wilson had for the Federal Trade Commission, to study hard problems and make recommendations as experts to help Congress legislate. So I would hope that this energy that the Federal Trade Commission has would be directed towards studying these problems and making recommendations that are actionable for Congress to legislate, instead of trying to legislate on its own.